What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Afterburner. He's Mikey. I'm Jordan. We're from the In the Dome podcast. We got Yasmin producing tonight behind the scenes. Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app today. Use the code NATION when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Afterburner Super Chat. Proceeds from Super Chat go to youth centers of Calgary. It's a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, a place where they can get a break from the chronic stress that is a reality of many of their lives and can flourish through connection and fun. So if you want to get your chat, your question, your comment on the show, throw a little donation. It's going to a great cause. Wow. Bro. Fucking definition of barn burner, bro.
Not what I was expecting at all today.
Was not what I was expecting. It's back-to-back games now. I don't remember seeing comeback juju from this club all season long, except for game one. Have they been doing this all? Like, what's going on?
Bro, we were joking before the game. We were like, what did we do to deserve to have to do the afterburner for this game? Like the Islanders on a Saturday afternoon. It's nice out here. I was expecting the biggest snooze fest of all time, and holy shit, did the boys come through? Dude, what is going on? Seriously, what's going on? This is crazy, man.
Huberdeau is an absolute man possessed.
Who is this guy?
Possessed.
Dude, we got
how many goals was that for him now?
He's got 27. I think 27. He's got 19 points in his last 18 games, I believe.
Dude, him and Kadri are just clutch. It's insane.
I really could have used this 2 years ago, but it's great now. But 2 years ago, it would have been nice too. But
I mean, we go through the highs and lows of the season.
Dude, it's just crazy
all the time. But that game, wow! Like you said, you come in, you're kind of expecting a bit of a snooze fest. Two low-scoring teams. Islanders are like just when you think of Islanders, you're bored. Calgary Flames.
Coronato makes it into the other team. You're bored too.
And then, we're always kind of in game in chat texting what do you think is going to happen. And we're just like, either Coronato is going to score a hat trick and win this for us, or, Vladar maybe lets in a late one. Sure enough, you're like, was it 2.5 minutes left? Okay, here we go. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for Afterburner. Here we go.
Ready for the pity party here. Well, it's true. It's just like that meme. It's just like we're so back. I say this every time we come on here because every game is a microcosm of the season. It's like Toronto, you get absolutely shit canned. It's like, yeah, it's so over. You play your two best games of the season and go and win 3 straight and get on a little wing streak. It's like, dude, we're so back. And there's like next week we're probably going to lose to Seattle and get embarrassed and be like, we're so done. And that's just in the game, like on a micro level. Yeah. That's in the game. Exactly. It's just like this. It's like so over. Coronato scores. Oh, we're so bad. It's 3 minutes. Oh, we're done. It's just, dude, it's really hard. It's really. I mean,
it's emotionally taxing. It's emotionally taxing.
Fucking taxing.
Well, you're dangling in and out of that final wild card spot, especially now. So, St. Louis has caught you. It's like a 3-headed race currently. You go on that big road trip, you look at the upcoming schedule, like, this could be the end. This could be the beginning of the end for the Flames. Sure enough, they get their asses kicked in Toronto, and you're just like, okay, here we go. But nope. They absolutely dominate the Rangers. Then they go to Jersey, and it looks like they're going to lose this one. Come with an unbelievable comeback win. You're fired up. You're jacked up. You follow up with that. Now you got 3 straight wins on the road in this crucial playoff hunt. I don't know what to make of it, man. Like I said, it's exhausting because you're just so back and forth. Like you're always always in limbo. You never know what's
exactly
happening.
What do you make of it? Because we come on these shows, we do these we talk about the game. There's like, well, what's the takeaway? Like, what's the lesson we've learned after tonight? What's the lesson and it's just like, it's so confusing. I don't know anymore. Jonathan, like, what is this bizarro ass season? Jonathan Huberdeau scoring clutch goals. He's up to 27. You're winning. Michael Backlund's out of the lineup. You saw the lineup tonight, right? You saw Uyghur's out, and you look at that lineup. They tweet out lines.
Hunt's in for Farabee.
Farabee's out. They tweet out the lines before the game. And you're just like, that's not even what the fuck is that piece of shit? You're looking at that and being like, yeah, this is no chance. Just looked like the worst lineup since remember in those bubble days when it was Joachim Nordstrom and Dom Simon and Lucci. It was just like, that is not an NHL lineup win.
Just on paper looking dreadful, but hold on. Coronato's got 2 goals in him.
Just going to sit back and be like, hey, Huberdeau's miraculously turned it around. Nazem Kadri is absolutely motherfucking clutch money. And Matthew Coronato owns New York. Kid is a gangster.
What a friggin' 3-game roadie for him, eh? Kid likes playing in New York. Likes playing in front of his hometown. So that was his official home city, eh? Was the Islanders.
He's from Long Island.
Attaboy.
Shares a birthplace with Jason Alexander, George from Seinfeld. Nah? So
Coronato now is the first 20-goal scorer under 23 years old since Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah. It's been a long time. So Chucky, I believe.
Hey, I thought we were out to lunch though for thinking this guy was going to be a perennial 20-goal scorer, 30-goal scorer.
It's crazy, man. This is a kid. He was in the AHL at one point this early in the season, if you remember. Healthy scratch, in and out of the lineup, up and down on the 4th line. Everybody's like shitting on the guy for some reason. I'm like, could you just give this kid some runway?
Dude, for some reason he was getting shit on like 4 games ago. Like, oh, he's dipped all of a sudden.
He's dipped. It's like, yeah. But dude, he is what I think everybody thought he was going to be, and he's proving to be that, which is a really good goal scorer in the NHL. So he's 22 years old, like you said, first since Matthew Tkachuk in 2019-2020 to score 20 goals on the Flames under the age of 23.
Man, he's got a nose for the net.
Dude, he's got a nose for net. He's got an NHL shot, and I don't think we're talking enough. Listen, I know we talk about Wolf a lot. I don't think people are talking enough about how positive a season this is for Coronato. Maybe they are now because he just had this great road trip. But like you said, like people were dogging him earlier in the year. I think people were kind of dogging him a bit last year because maybe some of the results weren't there. He struggled to score kind of a little bit, but he's come into the season in back-to-back years and been unbelievable in training camp. And now he's one of the team's best goal scorers, and he's freaking rocking it on the best looking top line we've had all year with Huberdeau and Frost. And he's 22 years old, and he's looking like he's going to be a stud, a great player. This is a huge development for the Flames, who were starving for young talent. You know, you saw it with Zeri last year where he came up and just kind of popped off, maybe when people weren't expecting him to be that good that quickly. And now you're seeing I think you saw it a little bit with Coronato last year. I was kind of annoyed with how he was up and down last year, but this year for sure, he cemented himself. He never looks out of place in any game, man. Like, he is a solid NHL player.
100%. I mean, Huberdeau and Kadri have been coming through clutch, but also this team isn't winning those last 2 games without Coronato, Wolf, and Zari. Yeah. I mean, they were instrumental in the Jersey comeback, and then again with Coronato, 2 goals tonight. That top line is looking good, eh?
Dude.
I know you were tweeting, you were not tweeting, but Instagramming this earlier today, is that, you know, we do give Huska a lot of hard time on this show when we feel like he deserves it. He finally got the OT selections right tonight, and look what happens. You fucking win. What's the coincidence here? But anyways, man, like, what was it? I think it was the last time we were on Afterburner. You know, he had some line juggling happening, and he had Frost with Sharangovich, and I'm just like, dude, look at Frost feeding Sharangovich all night long. Imagine if he was feeding Coronato all night long. Give us that, please. So anyways, was it the Rangers game? When did Huska officially start these new lines?
Yeah, so it was after the Leafs game that change happened. So it was into the Rangers game that we first saw the 2, most notably the 2 top lines change. Yeah. Kadri with the kids and Frost with Hubie and Coronato.
First time that Coronato and Huberdeau played together?
Yeah, first time they played together for any extended period of time. I mean, with Kadri between them, they've kind of played together a little bit here. But listen, like I've kind of been the one person who's like, I'm so sick of seeing Kadri and Huberdeau play together. Yep. And, you know, like you said, we've given Huska a hard time for, I think rightly so, for a lot of the lineup decisions and a lot of the adjustments. So. They've been pretty shitty all year, where it's just like, what is this line? What is this? I think finally he made the right move by splitting up Kadri and Huberdeau and putting Kadri back with Zeri and Pospisil, because that line worked great last year. That was
honestly, I didn't see that coming. I haven't seen anybody suggest that. I didn't suggest that, but that was a good move.
That was a good move. And maybe it's a little too, like, Nate probably should have been made. I know that's something we've been harping on with Huska, is like, okay, some of these adjustments end up happening, but it's like, could you have made it? made it a bit sooner, like make that change 2-3 weeks ago, maybe you have a couple more points in your pocket. But finally, you have two solid lines, right? Because I think that's what you're looking at some of these lineup decisions. It's like, why do we have, it's kind of just like diluting the shit. It's like, well, I'm going to put this shitty player with a couple good players and this shitty player.
Well, we've always been doing that though, but yeah.
Yeah. So now you really have 6, I think, of your best 9 offensive players in the top 6 where they rightly should be.
Well, if you think if you get a healthy backline and Farabee back with Coleman on the third line, like,
oh yeah, exactly. Like that's super solid. And just shoot.
Finally
leave Sharangovich in at the island. Leave him at Nassau. Is Nassau Coliseum still there? Just leave him in Nassau County behind.
If you forgot Igor. Solve the Rubik's Cube and swap Cairns in for Rooney, you might actually have a decent fourth line as well.
Exactly. But you love, dude, they dominated the Rangers. They played really well against the Devils. Tonight, those 3 guys, Huberdeau, Coronato, and Frost, outshoot the Islanders at 5-on-5, 8-3. Had a really good game. Obviously, Huberdeau scores the huge goal. Coronato scores twice. Frost was all over the place. I don't know. Do we have some of those Frost highlights at all? Because
we'll get to the highlight backs. We're going to break down the entire game, but let's just get through the analytics out of the way here, and we'll get into it.
Okay, getting ahead of myself here, but
you don't get ahead of yourself. Just calm yourself. I know it's an exciting game. Yeah. Just take a break.
Dude, when's the last time you had an exciting game? We've had 3 exciting games in a row. I'm freaking jacked up when these are shitty games.
I know, man. I know. Especially when you're like, especially when you go from like
down in the doldrums.
You're depressed all of a sudden. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's just that dopamine hit. You're like, oh, fuck, right. I love hockey again. Sweet.
It's the dopamine hit I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, exactly. But Frost with Huberdeau, too. I think we've kind of we've seen Zary play with Huberdeau because that's really, if you're going deep in doing deep dives on why Huberdeau has sucked, I think most of it's been in his head. But, on the ice, he really has lacked a centerman to play with through his entirety in Calgary. A guy who can carry the puck, a guy who's skilled, makes skilled plays, a guy who knows when to anticipate his insane batshit weird passes that he always has been prone to make. And, Frost looks, we saw it in a little bit last year with Zary, small sample to end the season, and I liked what I saw. Haven't seen that much this year. They've stuck him mostly with Kadri. But he looks like him and Frost really seem to have some chemistry just because they're both highly skilled players. Then you put Matt Coronato on that line.
Best finisher on the team, let's be honest.
Baby, you got a stew going. And then, like I said, Kadri and the kids, that line worked great last year. I'm surprised we haven't seen it sooner. Those 2 guys really you kind of forget how terrible Kadri was to start the season last year. And he gets put with Zary and Postgame and lit a fire under his ass, and he was great ever since. So I'm glad to see that line back together. You have 6 of your best offensive players in the top 6 where they should be. They're coming through. All Kadri's doing is scoring clutch goals. What a beast. Every goal he scores is huge.
Like seriously. Yeah. It's either a pivotal moment of the game or helps you get over the hump and win the game.
And I just got to say that Frost trade, somebody just commented and say that trade is looking pretty. That trade, even though Farabee's been kind of hurt and they haven't been producing it, that trade looks.
I am so impressed with Frost, man. Great. Dude, come after the post trade. I'm like, okay, well, Farabee's probably the better of the 2 players. I don't think so, man. Frost has more upside, dude, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
I still think Zary is missing half a step coming back from the injury. So hopefully this is a good stretch of games for him. He can get back home, settled in, and maybe he can find that step again because they're gonna need it, man, for this final stretch. I just honestly can't believe they're still right there. Are the standings updated yet?
Well, St. Louis wins today because they're freaking absolutely rolling.
They got an easy schedule too. They played the Hawks today.
Yeah, play the Hawks today. Beat them pretty soundly 4-1. Vancouver totally shit the bed today. Well, they outplayed the Rangers in Lankin and stunk. So Vancouver is officially at 76 points, 70 games played. So I think the Flames by points percentage still would hold the wild card spot because
they're currently in a playoff spot again.
The Blues are currently in it, but if it was by points,
they got games in hand.
Yeah, the Blues have 2 games in hand. So it's really going to come down to it. And this is a game again, this is a game last year or even the year before they would have lost for sure. Because how many times have they had this chance to put a streak together where it's like, oh, they're going to go 3-1 or 4-2 or whatever, and it's like, oh, of course they go 2-2 or 1-1 or 3-3, right? So this was, to me, this game was like the, I don't want to say turning point, but this is the game that
That was
insanely
gutsy.
gutsy. No Uyghur, no
You're
back,
missing your
no Verity.
captain, your defensive,
Wolf isn't
juggernaut
playing
back
for
there.
some reason. I don't know why, but
Farabee's out, your backup's in net. It's the end of a road trip. You're down again, and you find a way, dude. Wow.
yeah, that's just magic, dude. This is just magic at this point. That's all that it is.
Okay, let's get into let's shape this game up. I mean, you're like we mentioned, you're coming off that thrilling third period comeback from Jersey. The standings, can we put those standings up? Yasmin, just what it was coming into the game. It's a tight race. So coming into the game, yeah, look how tight that is, man. Insane. St. Louis, Vancouver, and Calgary. It's a three-way battle. So now Calgary has 77 points. St. Louis has 79 points. Yeah. But Calgary's got 2 games in hand. So yeah, by point percentage, they still have control over their destiny, as they like to say. It's a big game for the playoffs today. I mean, you got to love the attitude, dude. The leadership right now from Huberdeau, from Kadri, from Uyghur. We were both sharing this after the Leafs game. Uyghur was in the media. The comments that he made, again, just captain vibes, basically saying, yeah, I need a lot from everybody else. Everybody in this room, me included. Comes out, he plays a stellar game. The team plays a stellar game. They have that rebound game against the Rangers. And then they turn what looked to be like a potentially disastrous road trip into just a fucking unreal road trip, something to absolutely continue to build on when you get back home here.
Well, it's I win like that. Listen, we all know they probably get whooped in a playoff series, but it's a win like that combined with like, hey, if you do get into a playoff series with the net minding Dustin Wolf can provide you, like, holy shit, like they might be a pretty tough out and pretty fun. Might be a pretty fun battle to watch. I mean, maybe they'd get shit canned, but like you said, fucking gutsy, dude. I don't know, who are these guys? These are the guys who have let us down for the last 2 years, and freaking here they are, making us fall in love with them again. What's happening?
Yasmin, can you throw that lineup up? This is what we're talking about. Like, you see Will's post this for the game,
dude,
and
what this?
You're like, wow, you got Hunt, Sharon Govich, Coleman, your third line. Look at that
Rooney.
fourth line.
Well, and I mean, they kind of got dominated tonight too, right? Uyghur's out, Backlund's out, Farabee's out.
I mean, you're looking at that, you're like, shit, man, maybe Wolf probably should have started this game if you really want to give yourself a good shot at winning this. But Vladar pulls through. I thought he was okay tonight. Made some decent saves. He made that big save to force overtime.
Big pad save, yeah.
I guess he's getting the job done. Got the win.
You get the win. You get pretty much dominated. I think all told, high danger chances were 11-5 for the Islanders. So that's not how you draw it up, but that's a gutsy. That's
been their MO though. Get out chance, get outplayed. You
get shit chance, win. Win with that lineup. Like freaking the Rooney the fourth line got absolutely smoked tonight. It was just like, oh my God. I'm pretty sure every line got smoked tonight. And it was just like, yeah, there's no way we're going to win this game. It pans to Patrick Waugh. He's just like a beast on that. I'm just like thinking Waugh's going to win this battle over Huska. Is just like looking at his notepad, being a dork. I'm just like, yeah, we're toast. And Hubie comes through.
What the Islanders' fourth line scored their third goal. Was it the only goal their fourth line had?
I think they scored twice, didn't they?
Their fourth line.
I got to be honest with you. Half of the guys on the Islanders, I don't even know who they are. I'm just like, never heard of that guy before. Never heard of didn't know Kyle McLean played in the NHL. Didn't know Mark Gatcombe played in the NHL. Like, who are these guys?
These guys scored on us, right?
Tony DeAngelo's still playing? I had no clue what's going on, dude. No
idea.
The
playoff chances coming into this thing, we throw that up to you, Yasmin. You always throw this up on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, Mikey does an unreal job on there, just statistics galore. But you like throwing these up before. Who does these?
This is Money Pucks.
So to make the playoffs, if we beat the Isles in regulation, now we're bumping up to getting close to that 40% chance. So that was a massive game, right? If they lose, drop down to 20, man, and they pulled it off in like unreal comeback fashion in back-to-back games. I'm just like, when Kadri scored that goal, dude, I was instant, just peak, just jacked.
When's the last time you've been that jacked for a goal? It's been a long time, dude. It's been a lot of disappointment. It's been a lot of the opposite feeling where you're just like, yeah, fuck.
Well, dude, when was the last time we had a sudden death goal? What did you say?
Well, I think it was January. I had it pulled up. It was against Anaheim. Huberdeau scored it.
Huberdeau scored, yeah.
It's his first overtime winner as a Flame. But is in January against Anaheim. That's the last time we won in overtime, I think.
We have not had a lot of those celebrations this season.
4-9. Yeah.
So, I mean, to do that in this playoff race, coming from behind, like, oh, fuck. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, let's get to the first period. The Flames started with some jump. Again, that first line was looking good, and Coronato was the first shift, right? Coronato scores.
I didn't even see it. I heard scores and
E-man, but they don't ask, how. As long as you're firing him towards the net, you're gonna get good bounces from time to time. He's just on fire right now.
Does a goal scorer score? Like get it on the net, make sure it gets through, like it doinks off somebody, but it's fucking great, dude. And that's really his MO, shoot from everywhere.
Was that top line? I know you went through some of the line stats. They were the best line of the night.
Yeah, I think so. Like the Flames got kind of caved in a little bit 5-on-5, but I think that was probably your most effective line for sure.
Like you mentioned, the Pospisil reunition with Kadri and Zari is looking good. I think they're going to continue to build. We got a nice little Pospisil tip chance and tight here to look at.
Old Marty P, eh? Hey, he's an underrated guy, man, because like even though he hasn't been putting up the points, every line he plays on, he has an impact on. He's just one of those guys.
It was a bit of a back and forth first period. Vladar had to hold him in there because the Gals were pushing there after that goal. And then shortly after that, we got the Islanders tying it up here. This is a tough shift from
Rick, man, that fourth line's tough, eh? Yeah, compare and contrast that to the Owls' fourth line today, it was kind of like, man, I wish we had a functional fourth line.
Dude, could you imagine?
Rooney's been okay lately, but
the thing is that we could. I know we've been talking about this ad nauseum, but where the fuck is Cairns, dude?
Yeah, I know. Like, could you at least
text you? I'm like, please tell me this is Rooney's last fucking contract year, please. And it is. Thank God. Hopefully, they don't resign him again.
He got nailed again today. Like, I think he's got to be like the highest in like getting crushed per 60 I've ever seen. Like every time he gets the puck, he's getting nailed by somebody. What's he doing, bro?
Coronato was close to scoring his 20th here in the first period. We don't have the highlight of it, but after the Isles PP, we have a Frost highlight. Let's throw this up there because we've been talking about this guy's skill. It's like on display on a nightly basis. He's doing some sort of nifty little move.
Dude,
look at that.
Sick.
This is like outdoor ice, man.
That was so sick. He had a few other touches like that too. Like, and he's been trying the between the legs stuff too.
Like a between the legs spin around, feed the guy in front. Man, that'd be sweet if was that Huberdeau? Yeah, if Huberdeau could have buried that. Yeah. Too bad it wasn't the Coronato. That would have been easy money.
That's a great play, and that's kind of what we heard about Frost. Is like he's gonna wow you sometimes with some of his creativity and some of his just like functional skill. Like that's a great play. That's some of these younger guys now you're seeing where it's like that's a flashy move, but it also kind of serves. It serves a purpose, right? Like I think some of these guys who have such high skill, they always get kind of dogged for being like, oh, too flashy. But it's like that's a fucking great move. It's like when Matthew Tkachuk was scoring those between the legs goals. It's like that's a functional skill right there. Like that's sick. It looks sweet and it works. And you kind of see every other shift or so, you see a Frost make a nifty play like that. It's sweet.
He had one of those exact chances in front on the PP, and I think it was the second period. Between the legs, and he tried that Matthew Tkachuk move. To see that?
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, he tried.
We don't have it on the highlight pack, but yeah, he's been doing that.
Yeah, Chucky always used to do that. It was kind of a spin, and he could have multiple options because, hey, am I going to tuck this in between my legs, or am I passing this to the like? And you've seen that's a great power play tactic. Sid will do that all the time too. Just kind of that spin from
it's an effective move because you're protecting the puck, so the D-man tries to reach around you, and as he's doing that, now it's between your legs. And the goaltender, if he goes for a poke check, he's kind of sold himself. So he's leaving the top shelf open. I was like, we make notes when we're watching these games. And I was just making a note like, yeah, pretty pretty tight back and forth for first period, right when Islanders score this goal. Take a look at Jake Bean going for a little afternoon skate here on this one.
Got stuck. A little, not Vladar's shining brightest moment either.
No, I didn't
just
think
just an all-around team effort on that fuck up right there, eh?
Vladar did not square himself with the shooter on that one. You kind of sit there and like, well, I've seen Dustin Wolf get out there and close the angle pretty quick all season long. Would he have had that one? I kind of feel like he would, but not going to shit on Vladar. Obviously, he gets the job done tonight. Any more stats from the first period you want to get to?
Well, the Flames, like you said, it's kind of hard to shit on Vladar. Like, I didn't think he was great, but the Flames do get pretty much dominated in the first period. 5 high danger chances for New York compared to 2 for the Flames. So he had to be sharp. He made some of the saves he needed to make. And he's been good of late. Like, I was annoyed when they announced the starter, I was like, fuck. Especially given the lineup and being like, we're already short. We're going to need a Herculean effort to even like get a point out of this thing. He was up to the task. He's been good of late. You know, you got to give him props. He's like, what, 4? Is he 4-1-1 now in his last few starts? He's been really good since the break.
Yep. His last handful of games, he's been getting the job done. Okay, the Derek Newman Group with CIR Realty, buying or selling. Let Derek do the work for you. Email at dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call 403-619-6661 or visit dereknewmangroup.com. Complimentary in-house home staging consultation, accountable and available. Whether it is your first home purchase or you bought and sold several, he will take the time to understand your goals. On the selling side, we'll do a pre-listing consultation to help you every step of the way with a comparative marketing plan, detailed analysis of other comparable homes in the market, ability to find homes off the market and go the extra mile to hunt down options for buyers. If you're interested in buying and selling your home in the greater Calgary area, call Derek at 403-619-6661 and he'll make it easy for you. Let Derek put his network to work for you. All right, man, let's get to the second period. There's an early power play. Frost is looking slippery again. Man, this power play since Frost has joined the team, I think has just been totally elevated, especially when he's kind of manning the PP on the half boards. When he's the setup guy and it kind of funnels through him, it just seems like the other players, like when Kadri's on the half boards or Hudo's on the half boards, is a little more one-dimensional. Whenever Frost has it on the half boards, you're like, oh, fuck, this guy gives himself 3 options like at all times. He's always the most dangerous man on the hot boards. I wish he was just solely the guy on the half boards. Sometimes you get him caught down low. And it's just like, dude, if he was just manning the half boards, I think we'd get a little more PP conversion, but the PPs have been looking way better as of late.
Oh, yeah, and it's pretty much all Frosty, I think. I mean, you missed Uyghur back there today. You got Rasmus back there, and you're like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, Anderson in the past has just been kind of the guy just to back up and take bombs.
Yeah, let's take a bomb from as far as possible. Yeah, exactly. As far as possible away as you can. Longest distance. But, man, like, it's just crazy what one single skilled player can bring to that top unit. I kind of wish sometimes they'd swap out Zeri. I know Nas scores some big goals on power plays, but he had some of those chances where it's like, Coronato sets him up for a perfect one-timer on the power play, and he like takes 10 years to shoot it.
Yep.
If you had to just wake one more player who kind of like had, just like a little more skill, I feel puck moving wise, you could maybe have some of these multi-passing plays, but can't complain.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking at the lineup they currently got, right? If you got Weegs, Coronato, Frost, Huberto, and Nas, it's like, well, who are you going to take off for Zari? No one really. So, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if you swapped out Nas or Hubie, I wouldn't want to take off Frost.
Maybe Kadri just once in a while.
Okay, let's take a look at this. This is Coronato's second goal. The nice little dish from
shot, dude.
Man, this just got me jacked too. Just an unreal pass, unreal shot. Like that's a playmaker's play. Look at that pass,
dude. I'm just admiring. What a pass! What a shot!
It's funny because in the second intermission, Francis and Leslie were talking about Coronato and his the 20 goal mark, and Francis is like, well, they finally got him playing with the best player maker on the team. I'm like, yeah, they probably put him with Frost. And of course, he's like, it's Huberto. Huberto is not the best playmaker. No, he's not. He's got the most goals on the team. He's having a great season, but Frost is a better playmaker than Huberto, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I agree.
But like, look at that dish. Like and I mean, I know people have been saying this since we acquired Frost, that he's kind of got some Johnny Gaudreau in his game, both in mannerisms and style play. I gotta be honest, I'm starting to see it more often. Just every once in a while, I see a shade of something. How Johnny Gaudreau would lug the puck up the ice, how he would find that open space, that little chip back pass you just saw. Starting to see it.
What a shot, though, dude. Like, that kid's got such a freaking rocket. That's a Mike. I know I've been saying this since he's kind of been in the league, but that's a Mike Camilleri shot. He's just got that heavy snipe wrister that just we haven't seen in Calgary for so long. Just that pure sniper. Like, I know Monahan scored a lot of goals. He's a sniper, but it just wasn't this. He had that kind of like tactical, like, finding a soft spot on the ice and picking his spots. This kid's just got an absolute weapon of a shot. Every time he scores, it's just like, holy shit, that shot.
Dude, pretty much every goal, you're just like, wow, what a shot. It's just
like roof job. He's got two guys on him. Like the on and off his stick in about 2 milliseconds, top corner.
Yeah. The quick little pivots, like even that first goal, he's on his back foot, man, and he fires a rocket to the net.
Well, and he almost had that chance. There was a play, I think Kadri was on the ice with him, and he passed it. He stripped Peugeot right in front of the net. He's really good on the forecheck and just pressuring guys on their stick. He's got a good stick. Just a good, fun player to watch.
That's his fourth 2-goal game of the season. He was definitely on hat-trick watch after that. He was buzzing, man. He had a few chances to get a third one there. In our little game text, I think the key word we were using to define Coronato, man, this kid's a gamer. Absolute gamer. What a great pick he was.
Well, dude, just for context, like I've kind of been posting some of these just because I think it is, like I said earlier, just kind of like an underrated story, how good he's been this year, 20 goals. Like he's one of only, I think in the league, like 12 under 23 players to have 20 goals this year. And we're talking about like some of the guys you'd consider to be elite, Lucas Raymond, Stützle, Wyatt Johnston, Seth Jarvis, like these guys who are 23 and under 23. And I mean, obviously some of them are like 20, 21, but he's right there with some of these guys, and that's huge for this team. That's huge for this franchise and a team who's supposedly, modeling their rebuild after like a Dallas, where Dallas had a lot of these guys like Wyatt Johnston and Stankoven, who they traded and turned into something else. But I don't think you can undersell how important Coronato's development this year has been for this franchise.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yes, without Wolf, you're nowhere near where you are in the standings. But I would say throw Coronato in that boat too. Without those 20 goals, like you're not scoring goals as is. So you take him off the lineup. I mean, the same could be said, maybe not to the same extreme, but he's been a key player this season for the Flames. After that goal, the Flames built a bit of momentum to keep pressing. I was seeing good things with the Zari and Pospisil connection. Hopefully they can continue to build with Kadri. I do really like that reuniting that line. Pretty good second period. At the end of the second period, the Flames were out shooting them 26-17. What did you have for stats after two?
Still pretty even. High danger chances, 2 apiece in the second period. So, kind of a lot of shots. Flames had the puck a little more, but couldn't really generate anything super dangerous other than the Coronato goal. So it was pretty even. I mean, both the Islanders and the Flames kind of play similarly, right? That's kind of what you saw in the third period. Just kind of a lot of two teams treading carefully and just trying not to fuck up. So it's kind of what it was just a battle of who's going to mess up first.
All right. Well, so Origin Brewing and Malting Company, the Hiltons are a 5th-generation family farm and have been growing the highest quality barley in the world for over 40 years and use the highest quality of that barley to brew Origin beer. Blending tradition and innovation for a truly unique experience that proudly celebrates Alberta farmers, we grow beer. Homegrown lager, Mexican lager, Pioneer IPA, Lazy Days Haze, Hazy IPA, Roxford Raspberry, Prickly Pear, Guava Goes, Backdraft Red Ale, Last Post Brown Ale. Origin offers $5 delivery on any order over $50 or more within 50K of downtown Calgary. Place your order on Origin's online store at originbrewing.ca. Click the shop button and browse through our selection of quality craft beverage and merchandise. And now the OC, Origin Calgary. The Origin brand continues to grow. In addition to their malting brewing faculties and taproom in Strathmore, has now opened their new brewery and taproom in Calgary. it's easier than ever to sit down for a pint of Origin or take home cans, growlers, or even kegs for yourself. Located at 943 28th Street Northeast, and of course, still going strong at 60 Spruce Park Drive in Strathmore. Check out Origin Malting and Brewing Co. Delicious beers is what they are. If you like to sit down and have a nice, tasty little barley sandwich.
If you're a Flames fan, you usually need a couple of beers after the game to cope with reality. So
after a game like that, I'm riding high, man. I'm good. All right, third period. Let's see what the boys are made of. You go into it's tied 2-2, right? Going to the third.
Yep.
Tied 2-2. It's one of those classic things. You're on the road. Anytime you're tied, doesn't matter who you're playing, in a tie game situation, going to the third period, you're giving yourself a chance to win the game, especially at the tail end of a road trip, man. It's huge. Like you're technically in the driver's seat. Coronato's on hat trick watch. He hits the post. Let's throw this highlight up. Hits the post early on.
The old doink job, eh? Doink.
Man, was he feeling it tonight, eh?
Boy, does he have a rocket, dude. Look at that thing. Fucking left the planet.
I love that noise.
I like it when it goes in more. Yeah, a little Labardius onomatopoeia. Doink.
The doinking in, there's nothing quite better sounding.
Oh, man, that would have been sick for him to get a hattie, but
or when you beat the goalie and just hear the back of the net pad get hit by the that's an amazing sound.
That's a good one.
Props to Robert for posting all these highlights. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he's an awesome follow. Robert Munich. What's his tag? You remember?
Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire. Always has good in-game highlights. Check them out. And I wanted to bring this up too because a couple days ago I saw Robert post this and he's like, that back-to-back. Remember we had that weird blip in the schedule where we played in St. Louis in back-to-back games in St. Louis, and we lost both. Yeah. How big are those fucking games looking right now?
Yeah. Well, with a wave,
you always talk about these 4-point games. Well, that's an 8-point. It's basically an 8-point back-to-back. Losing both like that could come down to costing the season.
Yeah, for sure. With the way the Blues are going after Binnington's locked in after 4 Nations and they got Jim Montgomery coaching them. I don't know. I think it's still going to be hard. You're going to be in tough to catch the Blues. I feel like Vancouver's are just like they're a mess. I don't know if you can trust them to, secure that spot, but man, the Blues, they look like a bit of a freaking, you're still in control, but like what, 13 games left? It's still hard when they're rolling the way they're rolling.
We'll get to the road ahead shortly and take a look at some of the upcoming games. But yeah, strength of competition is not necessarily in the Flames' favor, especially compared to the Blues schedule.
Yeah.
You saw that turnover from Hunt?
Yeah.
Led to everyone
saw it.
Led to a really good.
Going to send him to freaking Siberia for that one, eh?
Well, that was my text to you. He's going to sit for 4 games now after that? Like some of these other guys do all the time?
No, giveaways are fine. It's only when you go between the legs or make a fancy play like Zeri is when you sit usually.
So we got the Islanders go up 3-2. Their fourth line scores yet again. Let's throw some. This is late in the look at that. Under 3 minutes to go.
Getting scored on late by a fourth line. This was like kick right in the balls. Sharon Govich is a rant about how much we suck and how going 2-2 on the road trip is so Flames and this is so stupid, and we're just getting all this. I've got all these stats, but how much we're how mid we are, and they pull it off.
Perpetually mid.
Whoa, it's crazy.
But hold on, because was it next shift? Let's throw this up.
It was very shortly thereafter.
I was just honestly, man, I was just in shock.
Fuck yeah, that was crazy.
Nice shot from Mraz. I think he was shooting for the tip. That's just a great goal by fucking Huberdeau, man. There's nothing really else to say about it.
Dude, super impressive. That's really all you can say, man.
Well, and the most impressive, this is clutch timing. We're always talking about timing on this show. And to score timely goals like that, like the Flames needed a goal. Like, where was that in year one?
Well, and that's the guy
first year.
Exactly. That's his first year. He had 1 point in December last year. One. And that's what the team was missing. It's not even like you said. Oh, sorry, my light just went out. It's not even like you just said where, okay, like he sucks. It's the fact that when we need him most, he's not showing up, right?
Yeah.
Those are the things
Well,
you really need from your top player. Your guy is, are you going to score the goal in the big moment? Are you going to elevate your game? And we haven't seen him in the last 2 seasons for sure elevate when they need him to. We've seen Kadri do it a little bit. We've seen some of the younger guys do. We've seen a few guys do it, but every time it comes down to, okay, we need a big game from Huberdeau. This is a huge game. Who's going to elevate? Who's going to push this team through a threshold? He has not showed up. And this year he has, and that's been a huge difference maker. It's been the difference maker other than Wolf.
Well, even that, did he score the game tying goal? No, he scored the game winning goal against
the game winning goal against the Devils with 2 minutes left or whatever it was.
You see that little celebration he does? He's kind of like Gio, and he tries to do a sweet celebration. You're just like, man, you're not even very good celebrating, but God,
I gotta say, I like the celly. It kind of
I loved it, dude. He goes down, touches the ice, and then he kind of looks up in the air. God, that was great.
Yeah, that was sick.
So back-to-back huge goals from Huberdeau. Just got nothing but props.
9 points in his biggest games of the year. He's got 9 points in 6 games.
So then you're tied up, and as a fan, you're just like, oh God, okay, here we go. Don't fuck it up, Huska. Don't put the exacts. Don't do. What is the definition of insanity?
Don't start sharing Govich in overtime.
Keep doing the same thing over and over. Anyways, changes the OT lines. It was Frost and Huberdeau starting OT, followed by Kadri and Coronato. I thought they had a great shift.
Yeah.
Coronato made an unbelievable play from behind the Islanders net to keep possession, just dish it right back up to the point. It was Zarian sharing Govich, which I don't love because I'm just not a big fan of sharing Govich at the moment. But I thought they did okay.
Dangle almost made something happen.
I thought they did okay. And then, man, Miramanov was playing a lot of offense in overtime, wasn't he? I was like, dude,
that's the most fucking frightening thing of all time.
Right?
It's 3-on-3 OT, and you see Daniil Miramanov with the puck. Bro, stop.
Deep in the offensive end.
Oh, shit, man. We're done. That's like the red flag alarm bell is going off. Holy cow. That was anus clenching time right there, man. Holy smokes.
So the 3 lines get a turn, and then they roll back again to Huberdeau and Frost. And Frost was out there forever, hey? He was dead tired after that breakaway. Huberdeau feeds on that breakaway. He kind of out-deked himself. I mean, it's a good effort. I think he was just dog tired. Then he had trouble getting off. But then here comes Nas. Let's wait, before we do, we got to put the Vladar save that led to overtime. Let's watch this, and then we'll look at the Kadri goal.
Huge.
When you kind of looked overhead, it looked like it maybe was going to go wide. But again, I don't want to take anything away from Vladar. He played well today. And then let's watch the icing on the cake. Here we go. Wow, I was so pumped, man.
Bro.
Fuck.
So Kadri has some insane aura, man.
Seriously, yep. Well, he's been the guy that's been saying fuck you to everybody that doesn't believe us all season long, and he's gone out there and backed it up on the ice, which is you love to see.
Yeah, you love it. You can talk all you want, but if you back it up, it's amazing.
Man, well, dude, we put that. Look at this Flames fans celebrating in the stands, making that trip out to the Long Island. Love it.
Awesome.
I mean, we put that Kadri quote up. What was it, 3 weeks ago now? Where he's basically saying, if you're going to cheer for this team to lose, then I'll show you a loser. And I mean, speaking kind of indirectly to the fans, and you kind of love it when he goes out there and just fucking puts his money where his mouth is, and it's just been clutch.
Well, dude, and he's been, that's what I was thinking when I saw him score that goal. As much as I do want, we're pretty much out of top 10 pick territory at this point, so it's playoffs or bust for me. I want to see Nazem Kadri in the fucking playoffs. We haven't seen him in the playoffs since he won the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche and said, screw you to everybody who thought I was a liability. Scored a huge part of that Colorado Avalanche team Stanley Cup win, scoring huge goals. His hand was totally messed up. Dude, guy was a champion and told everyone to piss off. He's always telling people to F off, then backing it up. So it's awesome. So all I was thinking was, I want to see Nas in the playoffs. That's what I want to see what he can do in the playoffs. I want to see that monster perform in the playoffs. I want to see the fucking Nazem Kadri beast unleashed, man. We got to see it.
That OT game-winning goal absolutely had fuck you energy to it.
Hey, and we like that as fan base. Listen, that's an MO of Calgary Flames. I know I like that. You know, I like the kind of fuck you mentality. I like when Wolf comes out, like, right, he's been kind of talking about that this whole year. It's like everybody's been dogging us. I've been underrated my whole career. Fuck you. We're going to show you. Like, that's to me, that's the mentality that bred an entire generation of Flames fans with like the 2004 team, obviously, where it's just like, yeah, fuck you. We're the Calgary Flames. We're not the Edmonton Oilers. We're not a bunch of whiny bit. We always just have a totally like fuck you mentality. And I love when that's a team's identity. And I love when
we don't need to have the greatest players of all time handed to us to be be relevant for short windows of time. Fuck you. All right, the road ahead. I
just want to say on that goal, Rasmus Andersson, he's had a hard season. We give him a hard time. He's been pretty good lately. And I know he's on the ice for some goals, but you're missing Weegar tonight. I thought him and Ball, even though they were kind of getting outchanced a lot, I thought they held it together pretty good.
Well, Anderson led the Flames in ice time. Yeah. I think I saw that stat late.
He has got like 6 points in his last 6 games, I think, too. So,
do you want to wrap up game stats? Then we'll get to the road ahead.
Yeah, sure. I guess like I said, Flames get outchanced at high danger, 11-5. Scoring chances were 28-23, and possession, Islanders had 61 shot attempts to Calgary's 53. So the gutsy win because you kind of got outplayed all night. So
kind of got outplayed, but you had the edge in the little fuck you mentality. So
hey man, the fuck yous per 60 are off the charts right now.
Okay, let's take a look at the road ahead. Platinum Mitsubishi, the road ahead segment by Platinum Mitsubishi. Calgary's #1 destination for upgraded 2025 Outlander, the refreshed flagship 7-seat vehicle from Mitsubishi Motors. The 2025 Outlander features the first ever vehicle audio system provided by the industry leaders at Yamaha and new for 2025. It is also the only vehicle offered by mainstream manufacturer to include a brand name audio system from the base model all the way up to the top of the line. Other new features available for brown leather seats, ventilated cool front seats, standard 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get to the best backed cars in the country with a standard 10-year powertrain warranty at Platinum Mitsubishi. 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast here in Calgary. Check them out. Okay, road ahead. Do we have a stat for a little graphic for this, Yasmin, or we're just going to go off our...
I think we're just going for it there, bud.
What do you got there, bud? Who we got coming up?
We got Seattle on Tuesday.
Seattle. I'm making the road.
Seattle on Tuesday, then Dallas on Thursday, and the disgusting, pathetic, disgusting, gross Oilers in Edmonton. Ugh, the Flames. They got to go to Edmonton next Saturday. That's brutal. So Seattle at home, Dallas at home, Oilers on the road.
Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are currently out of the lineup. It'd be nice if we didn't have to look at their disgusting faces this coming Saturday.
You know, I'm sure we will, regardless of if they're in the lineup or not. I'm sure.
Yeah, right. We'll see.
Sure, that's what it'll all be. The Flames could be winning like 4-0 and it'd be like, okay, second intermission. McDavid actually plucked one of his neck hairs and then picked his nose and ate it on the bench there. What were you seeing there, guys? Oh yeah, let's analyze that. So
there's a shot of Leon Draisaitl. He's wearing his hoodie in the stands tonight.
He's pouting with his little emo hoodie on and going, listening to emo music. There he is. Look how cool he is. All
right, I'm making the road trip down for the Dallas game. I think you're going to that one too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So in the dome, we'll be in the dome on Thursday. If you're going to the game, keep an eye out for us.
Yeah, don't keep an eye out for me. I don't want to speak to anybody. Thank you.
I'll speak to you.
Yeah, you're the friendly one, not me. But you should be able to beat Seattle. That's a huge game against Dallas. That's going to be tough, man. They play Colorado the following week on Monday. The Dallas-Edmonton-Colorado gauntlet. That's going to be a tough test.
That's tough.
Especially when the Blues are playing who they're playing. Like, where did the Blues get this schedule from? Like, are they going to play some AHL teams too while they're at it? What's going on here?
So what's the next week look like? Because you got Colorado, then who?
You got Colorado, then you got Utah, Anaheim, Vegas. So, obviously
those are
Vegas
tough.
is tough. Utah is not a pushover. Anaheim, you should be able to beat. Like your April's a little easier. Your biggest opponents, you play Vegas twice, you play LA, you play Minnesota, but you've got 2 against Anaheim, 2 against San Jose. So you can maybe make some hay in April against some of these weaker teams. But again, St. Louis is playing Nashville 20 times.
You got to keep this pace going at this rate. Like you got to at least get 2 of those games out of the Dallas. Maybe if you can get 2 out of the possible, 3 out of possible 6 points.
You just got to stay at the pace with the Blues right now is what you got to do, which is a tough task. But you got to do
we'll see how it all shapes out. I mean, I'm so jacked after today's win, but let's hope that I don't know what the status is on Farabee. We're going to get to the chat here in a sec. So if anybody knows the status on Farabee, throw it up there. Backlund, have you heard any updates on him? Like you kind of need Backlund and Farabee back for those big offensive powerhouse teams to be able to defend a little bit better. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we're here.
Yeah, Uyghur. I think Uyghur is the biggest one, obviously. I think Francis tweeted after the game not too long ago that Huska said they expect Uyghur to play on Tuesday.
So maybe just a little minor tweak, eh?
So it might just be some maintenance because I think Uyghur's the guy you're missing more. Again, you saw it tonight because that blue line's already thin, but when you're stacking Miro on top of Bean on top of Hall, it's just like holy shit. How is this team? How did this team win this game? How is this team in a play? What a turning water into wine this season has been.
When Miramanov is your second best choice on defense in overtime, it's
they
get a little hairy, eh?
Oh man.
But hey, they're here. Maybe it was a good thing to give Wolf the night off tonight. Maybe he gets a little extra rest and you can ride him a little harder coming up here. But
I guess Farabee's sick. It's illness. Yeah, I'd heard that too.
Well, that's good news.
The old Long Island flu.
Dude, I'll be honest. I had whatever stomach bugs going around. Oh, I'm surprised I even made it on this thing today, man. The last few days have been a struggle.
You could have just done it like on the toilet. Do that next time.
I'll spare you the details, but I could have done it on the toilet for sure.
It could be a new format of the show.
Okay, let's get to Bet365 breaking news coming in. Where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner, just like it was tonight. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. An official partner of the NHL, download the Bet365 app today and use the code NATION to get in on the game. You must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Don't be irresponsible and bet $20,000 on something stupid. We got a anytime goal scorer picked for tonight. This is your selection. Top Titty Toffoli. If he scores tonight, $10 wager will net you $27 return. If you want to throw 100 down, it's obviously $270. How do you like that math? So Bet365, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Okay, let's get to some chat. I don't know if we have any super chats, but now's the time we turn to you guys. Any questions or comments or anything you want us to discuss or talk about, get it in. Let's go. We're going overtime here. Keith Jeffries. Ooh, $14. Thanks, Keith. Can you please tell Team Tank that we can package the New Jersey and Florida picks for 9th overall and still draft our supposed savior there? Let us enjoy these wins. How do you like that strategy?
Hey, I'm all for moving up the draft. I don't know how far. Well, hey, let's keep whooping New Jersey's ass. Where are we at with that? I liked beating it in New Jersey because it kind of like.
Yep, that was nice to kind of stick it to them and beat them in regulation.
Because I think right now,
steal that game away from them while Markstrom just shit the bed there at the end. We've seen that a few too many times.
Because what do we have? Yeah, I know, right? That was the perfect example of Wolf versus Markstrom. Markstrom being Markstrom, Wolf being Wolf in that game. Wouldn't
this be something, eh? We should call the Oilers game play-by-play. Here's Greasy Neckbeard, drops back to Crybaby McGee, and cross-eyed
doofus. Oh, there's a Boosh bomb, right? Oh, he missed the net by 10 feet because he's cross-eyed. I wonder how he did that. Just the current draft pick situation is that we have 18th, which would go to Montreal. New Jersey has 20th, which would go to us. Florida's kind of dipped a little bit. I guess it'll depend where they finish ultimately, but currently that would be 23. So we'd hold 20 and 23 and lose 18. So I'm all for packaging anything.
We are doing the afterburner on the Oilers.
We got the Oilers game. They gave us the Oilers game.
They gave us the Oilers game. So like we need to win. Not only do the Flames need to win, but we need to win. We're doing the afterburner.
I need to beat them so bad.
There's nothing more than I would like to rub it in their disgusting faces after that game.
Dude, it's so funny watching Holloway be fucking awesome. I mean, it sucks for us because we're trying to chase the Blues down.
True.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, this is awesome. Dylan Holloway
doesn't suck great. As hard.
Philip Broberg's been great. And all the Oilers guys that they acquired this offseason, just like I told you in the summer, I was like, these moves suck. And they do suck. And they did suck. So, hey, man, it'd be kind of I'm kind of putting it in the back burner now because I'm more focused on the Flames. But I'm looking forward to an Oilers downfall this coming playoff. And I hope it happens.
They've been kind of having a struggle this March. And now top two guys are injured. I'm sure they won't be able that long, but wouldn't it be nice if they missed some extended time?
Bro, like all those guys have McDavid's probably been playing hurt for 10 years and they just
he finally got fucking tired from playing 58 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Oh, we're down 6 goals. Do you mind double shifting for the next 20 minutes?
Oh, Connor, I know you have a broken rib and your nose is broken and you have like the worst flu that's ever going around. Oh, and you're just like your foot's gone. You've lost a toe and a thumb, but we're gonna play.
I mentioned you look like shit, Connor.
You haven't eaten anything but BioSteel for the last 2 years. You just had an IV of BioSteel. Yeah, you can still play 30 minutes.
You don't mind, do you?
You don't mind, eh?
Attaboy. Was there any more super chats, Yasmin?
I saw Ken had something. I'm gonna pop it up here. Good Ken with his baby Aginla. Dude, Ken, I have the Jerome McGinley baby picture. All of that's like what I use for everything. All my Gmail.
All your burner accounts, eh?
All my burner accounts are just baby Jerome McGinley picture.
All your Francis burner accounts, you can actually read his tweets.
Yeah, that's right.
I swear.
Baby Jerome, dude, that's the picture. That little Jerome McGinley head, that's like the best picture of all time. They need to put that somewhere in the new arena. I love that.
What would you just say to a Flames fan who's constantly being negative towards his team and shitting on tonight's win? I don't know.
You gotta ride. Here's what I say to everybody. You gotta ride the wave of emotion, man.
That's what I agree. Yes. So I think what Ken's saying here is like, yeah, because Mike, Ken, you're right. Ride the wave of emotion. Be happy sometimes, and then be negative whatever the hell you want to. Just do both. Do both from time to time.
When they suck, and you're like sitting there, and you're like, "We're so mid. This sucks." I'm looking at, we suck. Be mad. Be upset.
When Huberdeau has the biggest NHL drop off in NHL history. Call him a stupid idiot for 6 months. And then when he's finally clutch and doing good, tell him how great he is. Like that's
exactly. You just got to ride the wave, bro.
Just call it as it is.
If you try to say with this consistency
just
nonsense,
be honest.
You're gonna lose your mind. It's like that Darren Haynes. Darren Haynes had a tweet the other night where he was like, "Hey, team tank, team make the playoffs. Can we all come together and say that the Flames just drive us nuts no matter what side we're on? Because they drive team tanks nuts when they win like this. They show up. It's like they drive team playoff nuts when it's like we're playing Seattle or we're playing Chicago in a game where we should win and make the playoffs and they don't show up. It's like they drive us nuts no matter what. So all you have to do is just ride the wave, bro.
That is just kind of sports, though, is it not?
I mean, that's life, really.
Who was
we're
it?
Handing out life lessons here on this show.
I can't remember the particular player, but they made a good point. It's just like, hey, we're playing meaningful games right now. We're almost into April, and the Flames are still playing meaningful games in a season where everybody thought we'd be bottom 5. Take a little bit of happiness in that. Take a little bit of enjoyment in that.
Well, and the other thing, too, that like I get out of a game like this, and pretty much all season with Wolf, but the game Coronato had, like, if you are team rebuild, which I think kind of most of it, like, obviously that's what we're still doing, you have to take into account, like I said, like, this is an insanely great development for Matt Coronato this season. Dustin Wolf has emerged as an absolute stud. Like, as far as this
Look at
team's
Zane
future
Parek's
goes,
season.
you're looking at Zane down there. He's tying all these records. He's looking unbelievable. We still have a fair chunk of draft. You just have to look at this as like, this is still a developmental year, and you have to take the positives away from Matt Coronato. Matt Coronato is a 20-goal scorer in the NHL. That's fucking huge. Dustin Wolf should win the Calder. Probably won't, but he'll be in the running. Is in the Vezina conversation. That's insane. That's awesome. Zane Parek's down there setting records. If he's up next year, what is he going to look like? Connor Zari's maybe had a bit of a tough season, but you just still have to look at it through the lens of like, we're still developing a lot of these young players, right? Win, tank, mid, make the playoffs, whatever. A lot of these players are developing into hopefully great players, and it's really encouraging.
100%. Bob Huska said he expects Uyghur to play on Tuesday, and it sounds like Farabee just had an illness today. So hopefully that's
got a little tummy ache.
Just the 24-hour shit your brains out flu that I just had. It was nasty, dude. Couldn't get out of bed.
I thought you said you weren't gonna like. I won't go into detail.
Too late. Somebody asked. Somebody wanted me to pontificate on what's wrong with Farabee. So I mean, it made sense. But yeah, I know some people are negative all the time. Sometimes we get a bad rap for getting too negative. And yes, we can get negative, but we do when the team's doing well and some players are having unreal games and stretches, we'll definitely give them kudos. So
I think most people who are negative just kind of
exactly.
We're pretty balanced, I think. Like we're either or on both ends of the spectrum. You're never gonna find us in the middle being like we're not what is the word, teetotalers? We're not gonna like, hey, all we do on this show is keep it real. That's what we do. We're not
gonna gag all over the management no matter what they do. That's for
We're not gonna glaze them when they shouldn't be glazed. We're not going to shit on them when they shouldn't be shit on. Well, maybe we do for fun, but we're going to say what needs to be said. We're going to overtly glaze people who don't need to be glazed. We're not going to shit on people and they don't need to be shit on unless you're Huberto and it's funny. So unless it's for comedic purposes.
And your haircut makes you look like you have a penis on top of your head.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's for comedic purposes, we won't be negative. So for no reason.
Was there anything else you saw in the chat that you want to throw up there and discuss? Anybody else have any more questions or comments or whatever? Or should we just close this bad boy out and we'll see you all after the Battle of Alberta?
Yeah, I just saw Ken was talking about the prospect pool. Yeah, it's been very good. And I think that's, that's encouraging, right? If you have 2 or 3 more drafts like you just had, I think you're going to be looking. That's really what you need to do because
you have a bunch of different these analytic groups doing these little prospect pools, and Flames are ranked up there in quite a few of them. One of them, they were top 4, were they not?
Yeah, I've seen various different models have them ranked pretty highly, mostly based off how Exton's last draft was, where obviously you got Bashy, you got Greedon's had a really good season this year. Obviously, Zane Parek's looking like an absolute steal at 9. A lot of other good picks in there too. So listen, I go back and forth between like we're like being upset about like we're probably gonna finish fucking 9th again and lose our pick. Like that's distressing, but you got to be positive sometimes.
Well, if you don't have any control over it.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Can Conroy grab that King kid? He's a Calgary boy, I believe.
I think I saw this.
Interested in him.
I haven't seen anything about this kid, but now this is the second time I've heard about it. So there must be some. Usually, where there's how's that? Was there smoke? There's some fire there. So
he was at their dev camp last year, I think, or was it this summer?
That seems to be Connie's MO is grabbing these college kids at the end of the season. No,
grab them, pick them up.
Okay, man. Round us out with this. I know you touched on this on one of our episodes, but is it Kevin Woodley? Break us down with what he had on Dustin Wolf and some of his metrics this season.
Oh, I heard actually Steve Valaket, who runs Clearside Analytics, he was on a radio show this week talking about how many breakaways Wolf stopped this year, because I think it was after the New Jersey game. Because he made that insane save on Dawson. Was it 3-1 at that point? Made an unbelievable save.
Yeah.
And kept the Flames in that game, and they pretty much win that game because of Wolf's big saves. But just, Wolf has kind of been, he's entering the conversation. ESPN's writing articles about him. He's entering more so in earnest than he has been all year, where it's just been like Flames fans being like, this guy's fucking amazing. He should win the Calder. He should be in the Vezina conversation. I know CSA Hockey, which Clear Psych Analytics, they have him ranked, I think, as a top 5 goalie still in terms of his goals against differential. If you want to check it out, their website, csahockey.com. Not very much of their data is public, but they have some really interesting data you can sift through. They have the top 5 and bottom 5 in different categories. And Wolf's right there with the guys, with the top guys, Thompson, Shesterkin, Philip Gustafsson, Darcy Kemper. So, hey, it's not just us blowing smoke up his ass, man. Like, he's been that good. He's and people are realizing it more now.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it was one of the intermissions, Francis and Leslie were saying that now whenever he heads out east, everybody wants to talk to him. He's definitely getting much more recognition across the league.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. I'll let you take this.
Who's the Flames offer sheet this summer? Well, okay, like, how about Matthew? How about we find some way to screw Brad Treliving? That's where my brain goes.
Just a spite screw. I don't even care if it
Just
costs us down the road.
I threw this out there the other day. I was like, why don't we just like sign Mitch Marner to the most ridiculous contract in NHL history just to fuck with Brad?
You're going to keep dating her out of spite?
I have to. I don't see any other option. I'll get married if I have to. Hey, how about let's offer sheet Matthew Nyes and screw Brad. Listen, I think the Oilers, the only team stupid enough to let offer sheets get away from them. I did see somebody mentioned Maverick Bourque.
Have you met Brad Treliving?
But hey, all that I think about is like, how can we screw Brad Treliving? So let's find an offer sheet or some way to screw.
There's only 3 things that keep you up at night: Flames stuff, the Oilers' hatred, and getting revenge from Brad Treliving from absolutely leaving a tire fire behind.
Got that right.
We'll leave it on that note. Thanks for joining, everybody, and we'll be back to host the Afterburner on Battle of Alberta a week from now. Have a good night.